Alice clearly wasn't pregnant, yet she vomited every day like morning sickness, and her lower belly was covered with stretch marks. In contrast, second Madam Jessica had already been pregnant for 3 months, yet looked the same every day, not at all like someone pregnant. Just when Alice was about to collapse, she discovered a shocking secret. It turned out that every time Jessica ate a certain food, Alice would become extremely repulsed by that food and couldn't stop vomiting. This made Alice realize that Jessica must have cast a curse, transferring her suffering onto Alice herself. Alice immediately ordered the maid to bring her a bowl of the coldest tea. Then she drank it all in one go. Sure enough, the next second, from Jessica's room came a heart-wrenching scream. It turned out Alice had been reborn. In her past life, she never saw through Jessica's curse and suffered many strange illnesses for no reason, which led her husband Benjamin to despise her and the servants to laugh at her. Even on the day Jessica gave birth, she bore the pain of childbirth in her place. In the end, Alice couldn't take it anymore and died miserably in her own bed. But when Alice woke up again, she had been reborn. The maid came to report to Alice that Jessica was pregnant, and with twins, thinking of her past life's suffering, she swore she would uncover the truth this time. Alice believed the curse must have a medium, so she ordered the maid to clean the entire room and report immediately if anything seemed wrong. But after the maid checked everything, she found nothing unusual. Alice still wasn't at ease, so she set the house on fire. The next day, Alice thought the curse had been broken, but unexpectedly, her body felt unwell again. Just as Alice was puzzled, Jessica walked in. Alice guessed the medium must be on her. Jessica claimed she came to visit Alice, but in fact, she wanted to confirm if the curse still worked. When she saw Alice's weak state, she provocatively said that she was the one pregnant. So why was Alice suffering so much? Alice also couldn't figure it out, what method Jessica had used. At that moment, she noticed Jessica's sachet. Alice also had one of those sachets. They were gifts from Benjamin to both of them. Alice suspected the sachet was the medium, so she slapped Jessica across the face to provoke her. Sure enough, Jessica couldn't tolerate the insult and immediately fought with Alice. Alice took the chance to snatch the sachet. The next day, Alice handed both sachets to the doctor for examination. The doctor said one was just an ordinary sachet, but the other, if worn for a long time, would make the wearer never able to conceive. And the problematic sachet was Alice's. Alice suspected the sachet was the medium, so she told the maid to destroy it. But after a few days, Alice's symptoms only worsened. Alice realized the sachet wasn't the medium. She asked the maid if Jessica had shown any abnormalities. The maid said there was nothing unusual, except Jessica's appetite was unusually good. Alice sensed something was wrong. She got Jessica's food records, and as she suspected, whenever Jessica ate, Alice couldn't stop vomiting. Alice thought, since she couldn't find the medium, she might as well use the curse. She ordered the maid to bring a pot of the coldest tea and drank it all down. Soon, on Jessica's side, she felt unbearable stomach pain and cried out in agony. When Alice heard it, she was overjoyed. She decided to use the curse to make Jessica experience her pain too. 10 months later, Alice drank iced tea every day and ate cold foods. One day, Alice suddenly felt stomach pain. The maid hurried to fetch a doctor, but Alice stopped her because Alice realized Jessica was about to give birth. She told the maid to prepare a tub of ice water and over a dozen bowls of iced tea. Meanwhile, on Jessica's side, she was happy about the coming birth. Benjamin promised Jessica that once she gave birth to twins, he would make her the first wife Jessica schemed, and said doing so would make Alice unhappy. The mother-in-law said Alice couldn't even bear children, so there was no need to care about her, and even gave Jessica the ancestral bracelet. Meanwhile, Alice drank over a dozen bowls of iced tea in a row, but heard no screams from Jessica, so she steeled herself and poured the ice water over her own body. Sure enough, just as Jessica was feeling proud, her belly suddenly ached terribly. Benjamin immediately called the doctor, but after examining, the doctor said he couldn't tell what was wrong with Jessica, but her child was likely lost. Seeing this, Alice showed a joyful expression and told the maid to prepare hot water as she wanted to sleep well. But that night, Alice was startled awake by nightmares. She found her own belly had grown full of stretch marks. Alice couldn't understand why, after all her efforts to turn things around. She still grew stretch marks. Was she doomed to live in nightmares forever? When the maid saw this, she hurried to fetch a doctor, but Alice told her to prepare ice water instead. Then Alice soaked herself in the ice water. She swore never to let the nightmare continue. The next day, the maid told Alice, "Yesterday, Jessica suddenly had stomach pains. The doctors all said the baby was probably lost, but Benjamin fed her a pill and Jessica actually recovered as if nothing happened." Alice knew this medicine. There were only 3 in the world. Benjamin's pill was one he got at the cost of his life. Alice never imagined that Benjamin would be willing to give it to Jessica, this time letting her escape disaster. But Alice had already thought of her next plan.